Alright, hello. Welcome. Hi, how's it going? Hey, everybody. How it goes. Alright, so today, just gonna resume this, Blasphemous no Bile Flasks run that we had, we were doing on Thursday, I guess, of last week. I didn't finish it because I didn't have quite enough time to do it all in one stream. I didn't get a chance to do any on Friday because I was all about that Resident Evil 3. And, you know, so there's not a whole lot left really in the game, but I haven't played it for several days, so I'll probably be a little rusty. It should be this one. Yeah, I believe. So we've got the wall, we've got to do the chalice quest and all that kind of stuff. Do I even have the chalice? I don't. I'm gonna have to go get that. I should probably do that before I get too far into this area, actually. Let's see, it's way back over here. Yeah, we got to do all this stuff here. So I don't know. Since I have to refamiliarize with myself with this anyway, I should probably just go do that stuff now. We won't be able to complete all of the chalice quests right this second, but I can at least go get the chalice so I don't have to make 2 trips. Or at least, so I hopefully don't have to make 2 trips. Let's see, if we make our way up to the teleport, we could go back to, I guess we want to go to Albero and then make our way into the cistern, because that'll probably be the easiest thing. So yeah, let's do that. I'm definitely going to be a little bit rusty having not played this for... It's only been a few days, but my platforming skills always dull after like a few days of a break. Not just platforming, but like there's a little bit of trickiness to the way the range of attacks and stuff works in this game, so I'm gonna have to kind of get used to everything again. Such as stuff like that, for example, where I would have expected to not get hit. Hopefully it'll come back to me soon enough so I don't die a whole ton. It's at least not a no-death challenge, it's just no Bile Flasks, as we had said before. But yeah, I don't think this will take up all stream or anything unless I'm like horribly bad, so once we're finished with this, I'm planning on just doing a little bit more RE3 today. We have finished a playthrough, obviously, of that already, but there's some other stuff I could do. I've been thinking about challenge runs and trying to figure out how I want to, what challenge runs I want to do pretty much all weekend. I'm gonna have to get a little creative with it. I might not do anything especially difficult right away, because there's already always built-in challenges, which is usually just like, you know, complete this game on this difficulty, you know, with these kind of things. But the thing is about RE3, they do give you the shop once you've completed the game the first time. And once you have the shop, they don't prevent you from using shop items in order to get, you know, like the high ranks and stuff, so it's really not that hard necessarily. Let's see, should we go? We should go here first, probably. Why can't I get on this ladder? There we go. In which we actually have to go the whole way around too. Okay. Honestly, I had played a ton of Blasphemous like over the last couple of weeks anyway, but it's funny to me like how much Resident Evil 3 has like really dominated the mental space as of late. No, I didn't want to actually come down here. I wanted to keep going to the right. Yeah. So now my brain is kind of like really just dedicated to the Blasphemous, or the Resident Evil 3 stuff at the moment, and so it's gonna take me some time familiarizing myself with this again and all that. But this, the no bile flask was really the challenge I wanted to do in this. I don't know if I'll return and try doing some other challenges at some point, maybe a no death run. That would probably be kind of cool. Just because, like, as this game has had time to grow with me, I have a lot more respect for it than I did at one point. I do think that, you know, the game is not perfect. It has some definite flaws, but I don't think that those flaws are necessarily, you know, the worst thing in the world or anything like that. What was this again? Just a bone? Oh no, that's the severed hand, that's right. I didn't even come over here before. Right, well, we don't need that anyway. I guess we'll just keep the nail uprooted from dirt equipped anyway, because that's what we need to use once we do get over to where we're going, which is down there. Hang on, do I have the proper other relic equipped? I do not. Let's see, we need... probably gonna need these ones specifically. But yeah, my first interactions with this game, I really kind of didn't like it that much. I love the style, and the art is just generally fantastic. But there was a point, however, where just like some of the stiff controls and how the platforming sometimes doesn't really seem to work that well really used to bother me. Aside from that, there are a few like design element choices that I do have a little bit of an issue with. Really, kind of the weak point of this game is, unfortunately, a lot of the bosses. I wish that weren't the case, but if they ever make more games, I don't know that they would ever make a sequel to this. I might have missed something up here too. We should maybe go back and check that real fast. You know, let's just go do it while we're here. But yeah, I definitely had like a lot of problems with the Our Lady of the Charred Visage boss at first, because I just felt like, as much as bullet hell type bosses are frequent in platformers of this kind of game, or of this type, I should say, it just felt really out of place, because it was like the first thing that I fought, the first boss anyway. Okay, we didn't need that anyway. There's not like a secret room over... no, I don't think there is. I don't think it's gonna matter. Pretty sure we have... I don't know if we have all of the fervor items. But we have all the beads of wax. Well, we're missing one blue candle, actually. And again, if I don't get that, it's not the end of the world. Though I might want to go back for it, we'll see. But yeah, the bosses in this game, they are... many of them are a little on the weak side, maybe even more. And I don't mean that they're easy, necessarily. I just mean that... or even that they're hard. It's a bit of both. Like, some of them mechanically just don't work as well as they could. Some of that is just because... like, you know, sometimes it's painfully easy, sometimes it's painfully hard, but not for the reasons that it's necessarily designed to be difficult, but that just there's some clunky elements to the fight, and that's all that really makes it difficult. The one that really stands out the most to me in that regard, it used to be the bullet hell one, but I've gotten more used to that now where I don't feel like that one's bad, especially if you don't do it first. What I really thought was more of a problem was Exposito, or Exposito. The kind of serpentine-looking boss. That one has some real design issues. Most of it comes down to the fact that you just can't tell any, like, of the attacks that he's going to do. A lot of the boss fights in this game rely on being able to react to certain tells and attacks so that you can parry or dodge appropriately, and that boss just... his movement and his supposed tells just don't really accurately reflect what he's going to do half the time. Which just makes him far more aggravating than would ever need to be. Hey Dodo, how's it going? That being said, I don't think it's necessarily the worst boss in the world or anything like that. It's just kind of, I don't know. It's not the best. There are, however, some really good bosses in this game. Some of which that are just designed like very well, minus like a few like things that they could kind of sharpen up a little bit. Doing just peachy, nice Dodo. So if they would ever kind of, wait, what, did I not? I thought I had this equipped before. Did I? I guess I didn't. I probably took this off for something else briefly, and maybe I had this and it went off when I got a higher version. It doesn't really matter. I'd rather have the higher defense than the fervor right now anyway. Especially since we're not doing Bile Flasks here. Okay. I keep hitting the wrong buttons. I'm so used to Resident Evil now that I keep hitting like triangle to open my menu. Alright, so we're just coming all the way down here so we can get this chalice, basically. And then when we're done with the wall of prohibition, is that what it's called? No, that's not the right area, over here. Yeah, the wall of holy prohibitions, where we can kill this enemy. Then we'll work our way back and kill the giant stone golem enemy, and then one of those guys, and if we manage to do all that without dying, then we'll get everything. I don't think there's anything we need to fall to here. Pretty sure we've done all of it already, aside from maybe what might be above us, but I think we did that too. I can't really see, but I don't see an item up there to grab, which there normally is. I do see a cherub, but I mean, I guess I'll collect it. It's not like I need to worry about getting them all, but in case I decide to do it, then I might as well. You really only need 20, because there's the one item you absolutely want to get, but then after that, the prayer that he gives you for getting all 38 is kind of, I like, take it or leave it. I do it, like, for completion the first time, but then after that, I don't care. Alright, there's... oh no, that's the map bug, I think. There's not anything there that I missed. Again, not that it matters, because I'm not really going for completion here. I just want items that are relevant. I did miss... I think there's a cherub up here, which again, you don't even really need the platforming items to get to. You could... if you have the vertical prayer that I just used, you could just use that to get the cherub. Switching between games does bring some problems sometimes, yeah. For me, at least. It's mostly why I haven't gotten back into Hollow Knight, is that I left myself kind of at the extreme end of the game where it's just a bunch of boss rush stuff and other challenges, and, you know, I would like to go back and finish it at some point, and I probably will, but it's just, it keeps, the time between doing that and when I was playing it keeps getting longer and longer, and so I'm just kind of like, I don't know if I really want to go back, because I'm just gonna suck and I'm gonna have to do, like, relearn everything, and doing that at the end of the game is maybe not the best. But anyway, just back to briefly to what I was saying, you know, getting reused to this again aside, This game is really good. It has some issues, but I actually really love the game quite a bit. If the Game Kitchen, I don't know if they've made other games aside from this. I had not heard of them before this, but if they do, and I hope that they do, I hope that this gave them some success. If they're relatively unknown, because I don't know. Then my only hope would be that they make something kind of similar, just, you know, maybe sharpen the controls slightly and, you know, get them a little bit to be a little bit more fine-tuned, and then just rework some of your boss ideas so that they also work a little bit better. And I believe this game was picked up broadly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is I'm pretty sure this game was fairly successful for them in general, so. Alright, let me make my way back now that we have the chalice. I think we have everything else that we want. I don't know what max fervor is. I've already gotten the achievement, so I can't, like, use that as a means of telling. We're still missing a mea culpa statue, but that's what you get for filling up the chalice, so I know exactly where that is. And that's part of the reason why I want to do this, because, especially for no Bile Flasks, I really want the highest damage I can have. There is an invulnerability prayer, which is really nice to use, but I'm not going to worry too much about getting it. We also haven't done these yet, and I should probably finish doing that as well. Maybe before I finish up all of that. I don't know, actually, hang on. Yeah, I'm not even sure if I can. No, I think I need the third. I'm pretty sure I need the third mask, because I have to go up one more time. Or, well, no, maybe not, because I feel like the last mask just takes you up to the very top. Let me go over and look, or actually, before I even go over and look, let me see what I have. No, it's second and third. I think I already gave her the first one. I just need to go turn these in. Okay, well, in that case, let's go down and do that, so I don't forget. So here, down, okay. You know, what I might actually do is just use the bead as a means of quick travel. It's kind of smart to put something like that in the game. It's not really quick travel in and of itself or anything, but just so I don't need to come back for my my guilt fragment, since it can you know, absorb your guilt automatically. I don't know if it does forever or if it's just until you get the true weight of guilt item. But like, if you go through unlocking all of that. Wait, this isn't where I want to be. I want to go lower, don't I? Shit, that's my bad. All in all, they deserve the success, although they have some flaws. It's a nice crossover of gameplay's ideas. Yeah. That's all I'm saying is, like, as far as platformers go, this game is very fun. It just could use tighter controls. She's gone. Alright, so if we leave, we will find him in the rooftops area. I think because I have the cord thing, I can just go give him that now. Let's just make our way to the left here. Turn off the game sound? No. Can you not hear it at all? Have you not been able to hear it this whole time? Oops, I'm not paying attention. Hang on a second. Did it... It's just very faint? Oh, that's weird. Oh, you know what? Hang on. Yeah, it's turned way down. That's my bad. The last time I was playing it, I wasn't wearing my headset. Sorry about that. I was not paying attention. Is that better? Should I be going good now? Okay, good. Yeah, sorry. I'll need to remember that for Resident Evil as well, so don't let me forget. But like whenever I play without my headphones, it tends to be much louder. Didn't even realize at first. Gotcha. Alright, I needed to go across from the mid-level. Yeah, I had it up fairly high in my headphones, so like I was just thinking it was normal. Hey, Wintermute. HD, did you know that you can brute force the RE4 cabin section in the hospital when you defend Jill? Charlie totally ignored the breaker switch and the event still ended. I didn't know that you could ignore the breaker switch, but I guess that makes sense. Like, honestly, I never used the generators except by accident, so it doesn't surprise me that you can just do it in the dark. Because I think that's all that really turning the power back on does for you. I mean, you would think that he can't finish it without the power, but I guess that doesn't matter. Took forever, though. I mean, it's just a long sequence in general. But I'm glad she got through it. I wasn't sure she was going to make it to that part on stream today. Or if she'd want to if she'd want to do it, you know, when she got there. This isn't a wall, right? Okay. It's a wall, but it's not an illusory wall. Feels like it overstays its welcome. It does a bit. Like, with shop items, it's not too bad. It just takes a while, but it's not, like, hard, you know, necessarily. It's only really all that bad on, like, Nightmare and Inferno.
I love the most. How can I love the
Because they throw worse shit at you.
I need. Thank you, Penitent.
Alright, I guess... Alright, let me teleport to El Barro rather than trying to make my way down there the slow way. Midway-ish. It's a little... I would say that's maybe a little past the halfway mark. Maybe not quite 3/4, but somewhere around there. Yeah, there's still a fair bit to go, for her in particular. Whoops, I missed that. Right, I always forget this enemy is here. I can hit this enemy too. It's not so bad at this part of the game. Like, I have a lot more health, so even without Bile Flasks, like when I'm just transitioning from area to area, it's not the worst thing in the world per se. Okay, this particular room sucks though. In fact, it sucks so much, I'm gonna go to the elevator instead. Because it's so easy to just fall onto the spikes in this room and have to restart. Oh right, I forgot I was thinking about just fast traveling back to the thing anyway. Oh well, we don't really need to, we're close enough. We're not really in a rush. How many challenge runs have you done on this so far? On Blasphemous? This was... I've actually completed the no Bile Flasks before off stream, just like for my own sake. When I felt like practicing it, and then I just went the whole way to the end just to see how easy it would be. It's not actually that hard with the right items and, you know, getting a little bit good at the game or just practicing. Some of it is definitely tough, but honestly, like, there's fights where just like that don't seem all that hard and only are all that hard because you can't heal, because there's like the Exposito fight is only all that bad because like it's just hard to read his intents, because, and this is what I was getting at earlier with their boss designs, Exposito is probably the worst one in the game. He's not even an overly hard boss, it's just that you can't really tell what he's doing because his movements, like, you can tell when he's going to attack because he makes a hiss noise, but the problem is that sometimes when that hiss comes out, he does like 2 or even 3 different attacks at the same time, and it's really hard to know which one he's going to do because there's no other tell. And the rest of his serpentine movement makes it really hard to tell when he's going to do like any of his other weird like position shift attacks, so it just makes for like a fight that could have been far better, but is probably the most annoying in the overall game. As much as I like moaned about the bullet hell fight in the beginning of the game, that one is by far, you know, in terms of just overall design, that one is probably the worst. And if the bullet hell fight is the second worst, then the rest of the fights are really not that bad. But like just getting from like a design aspect, you know, I would say that, you know, I think that like the weak points in terms of,
Time outside
I think we got everything from this dude, right? I don't know if we got the rosary knot. I wasn't paying attention. Stay away from bullet hell stuff after Fury, yeah.
These words
Oh, that's okay. So we do have the invulnerability prayer, but I'm probably going to not use it. I feel like that kind of goes a little bit against the no Bile Flasks run. I mean, it doesn't. I'm literally allowed to use other things, but when I did this challenge myself, I completed it without needing to do that, so I feel like we should probably just not. I should get the other 2 rosary knots, though. The problem is I don't know which ones I have and which ones I don't have, because it's been, you know, it's been 3 days since I played this last, and my mind has been on nothing but Resident Evil 3, so, well, and work, but that's it. Are the challenges in game, achievements, community things, or just stuff you're thinking of? Both. Do you mean, well, again, do you mean for games in general, or do you mean for Blasphemous or RE3? I think I rested here most recently. I don't really need to rest again, but whatever, I'm here, so let's just do it. This was not the right place to fall. Shit, I fucked this up. Actually, wait, no, I think we're okay if we come from here. Just wish I hadn't smacked that guy on the way down. This one specifically? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure other people have done it before. I'm like never the first to do a challenge of any kind, typically because I'm never the first person to play a game. And I'm not really like a huge challenge runner per se. There's just certain games that I like trying to do challenges. Some of it's just to, you know, give me an excuse to keep playing a game, whether it's on stream or off stream. Like, I just don't necessarily want to put the game down, and I just want to find different ways to keep the game entertaining. So usually for stuff that I like and want to do that through and not just go through the same way over and over, I'll try to, if there's a challenge in the game I can do, I'll try that unless I just am not interested in the challenge that it offers. Or I'll make up a challenge that other people likely will have also made up or attempted themselves, because it's pretty, you know, a pretty likely one. And this makes sense. Like, obviously, the typical ones would be like any sort of like, oh, you know, no death challenge or no damage. Okay, I thought that would hit you there. You know, all that kind of stuff. How did that not hit you? Really? Alright, I gotta get used to this again. Oh, I imagine RE3 will have a bunch of challenge speedrun categories. depending on what items are or aren't allowed. Yeah, for sure. Oh, right, I forgot this was the drop. Yeah, I mean, like, I really don't typically speedrun games. That doesn't mean that I never will. But, like, every time I've had to do hardcore S+ for Resident Evil 2, obviously it's like a little bit of a speedrun. It's just not the speediest speedrun, because I'm not trying to go for an actual speedrun record or even a PB necessarily. I'm just trying to beat it in the time required. And if I get a good time for a record, that's nice, but like I'm not gonna necessarily resort to the speedrun strats to have to do all of that, you know what I mean? I'll be back. Gonna practice the guitar for a bit. Alright, sounds good, Dodo. Have fun. Also, I know it just looks like I'm going up and down the elevator right now. I'm doing it to open this gate, because that's the solution to this gates puzzle. And I really want this item for dealing with Kier's coming up here. I'll switch to that after a bit. Oh wait, there's one more item that I want to get. But yeah, so usually what I like to do with Resident Evil, something that's my speed, since I'm not like, you know, looking for necessarily the hardest challenge per se. Just something that I'll find fun. I like to do like weapon only challenges, and sometimes they're pretty tough, honestly, but they're not necessarily, like, for me, they're not as hard as some other things, like, that I would find, like, more difficult in general. Like, I would find a speed run to be harder, kind of, to me, than doing just a weapon only run, depending on what it is, but, you know, it just depends on the game and how things work. Things like speed runs, no hit, no damage runs are very daunting. I guess we can't open these. These are just scribe, right? Yeah. Oh no, this is secular. Okay. They're daunting because, like, as much as I like the idea of the challenge to some degree, I'm not necessarily the biggest fan of challenges that hinge on the idea of, like, doing something perfectly, and then if I don't do it perfectly and get all the way to the end and mess up, that I have to start all the way back at the beginning. You know, for speedruns that's maybe not as bad, because usually it doesn't take you that long, but it can still be really aggravating. And it's really been the only thing that's kept me from doing stuff like that, because I watch Charlie do no-hit runs and or no damage runs of Souls games, and I kind of want to do some too, and I probably will get into it at some point. But it just kind of depends, because, like, I have to really get into the mental headspace to really start doing that kind of stuff again, because I'm a very, like, usually pretty patient and stubborn enough or persistent enough to make, you know, that kind of stuff work for me. But you know, that doesn't mean that it doesn't come with its, like, severe aggravation. And for me right now, like, just health-wise and stuff, stress, if it starts to become bad enough, is... I somehow killed the guy on the other side of the wall. That's nice. You know, that kind of stuff, like, has its own physical impact that I'm trying to avoid, you know, especially being someone who's, like, prone to headaches and stuff. I was watching the guy you hosted yesterday who was routing for RE3 speedruns, and he spent like 2 hours min-maxing how to get through a single room. It was insane. I had it on auto host, so I'm guessing it was probably Distortion or Carcinogen, one of the two. Carcinogen SDA. Although Carcinogen usually does, like, he does challenge runs. Okay, Distortion, yeah. Distortion usually does, or, you know, Distortion 2, I think is his proper Twitch name, but he usually does challenge runs, or sorry, I said that backwards. Distortion usually does speed runs. He's pretty much just a speedrunner. And I do watch some of his streams or his VODs, you know, every once in a while, because he has some really impressive speed runs of games that you wouldn't necessarily expect to see have a speed run. I wouldn't be able to deal with the stress of a proper speed run, and you know that's exactly what I'm getting at. Is like, it's a stressful time to be like to get a record in something and to be part of a to be part of, you know, any kind of group or team or whatever, or participating in a tournament or, you know, what have you. Even though there's usually a fair bit of support around those kind of things, it can be mentally very taxing. So I definitely have a lot of respect for people who can do that, you know, like I said, Charlie included there, because I know that doing hitless, successful or not, like it's a lot of stress to handle, and you gotta have a lot of determination for it, you know. And it's not necessarily always going to be the most stressful thing. Like, it depends on your mindset for it, and some people just don't have the proper, you know, they don't have the proper patience, mindset, whatever, for that kind of thing, and that's okay. Like, not everybody has to be a challenge runner or a speed runner or something, even if they're, you know, whether a Twitch broadcaster or not. You know, everybody's got their special something to offer. They just got to figure out what it is if they want to get into this thing. And it's better too if you're not trying to just copy what other people do. You know, not that you can't do certain things similarly or whatever, but you know, you should really find your own, you know, style of doing things, I guess. These guys, like, their sound glitches a lot in here. Should I come in here first? Maybe we should go down, actually. But for me, I like challenge runs. I just don't necessarily always do the hardest challenge. It just depends. Some of the ones I have done have been pretty difficult, but not all of them have been that way. And the one that I was working on in RE3 is not really that challenging. It's more, like I was telling you about it, I whispered to you, I was just going to use the one weapon, and it's a shop item, and it actually makes quite a few enemies in the game easier to a degree, although it's very slow to use, so you have to really have good aim and pick your shots. But it doesn't work for 2 of the boss fights, so I had to incorporate a knife into that, and I could just use like a regular knife. And the only reason why I'm using a knife is because I just thought that, like, it didn't make sense for me to just suddenly switch to a different gun for those boss fights. But I was kind of like, okay, well, if we go with the idea of like a futuristic weapon run, I can use this and the hot dogger because they both seem sort of like futuristic weapons. And therefore it's keeping in a theme at least. And since it's at least a knife, even though I don't find it that challenging per se, you know, overall of a challenge for both of those weapons, it does incorporate having to use some actual skills to pull it off. Especially if I'm not using... Oh, there's the fervor thing. I think that's the last one then. Maybe there's one more, but... But I think that... Shoot, what was I gonna say here? Don't you knock me off. There we go. I think it really just kind of depends on what you find interesting and challenging, generally, in terms of whatever you'd kind of want to do. And really, that's what you should go with. I keep hitting triangle to try to open my menu, like an idiot. All right, I don't need that. We are gonna need this though. All right, let me take off. It's an interesting question. How should we go about this? I don't think we need... I feel like I should have had another rosary knot at this point. I'm gonna want to go with fire protection though. Dodge distance, dodge cooldown. Jump might be better. I don't want to get rid of both my defense items. I could just get rid of the extra HP. It's not a huge bump. Alright, you know what? Let's go with that. This, and we'll ditch this one for this. Okay. Gonna grab some food, catch you in a bit. Alright, sounds good, Wormmeat. See you in a little bit. Anyway, so I will be doing that challenge run for Resident Evil soon. I don't know if I'll do it on today's stream or not, but I will be doing it soonish, if not on today's stream. I still have to complete Inferno mode on stream, and or I haven't even tried Inferno. I've done Nightmare. I've done a whole lot of stuff in the game. I just haven't done everything. But also for the good old de-stress and relaxation mode, I've unlocked things like the infinite rocket launcher already. So, and that stuff's always fun just to blow off some steam with. You know, whether you play it on a harder difficulty or not. The thing is, even with the shop items, like, the hardest difficulties can still actually provide some challenge if you're not careful. It's definitely less difficult if you're using stuff like, maybe it's through here. If you're using stuff like all the coins in the game. The assault coins are amazing, but like the defense and recovery coins are also really useful. It's particularly the defense coins for the higher difficulties, just because there's so many things that kind of effectively one-shot you otherwise, that you know, it is one of the things that I kind of don't like about Nightmare and, you know, potentially Inferno. Oh, I guess we have to actually drop down here. Is that apparently, like, I haven't experienced this firsthand, but what I've heard several times now is that, like, the last boss on Nightmare was a pain in the ass. That much I did experience. Like, he's easy on every other difficulty, but on Nightmare he's a legitimate pain. But on Inferno he's apparently just straight up ridiculous, because every time he hits you, you just die in one hit. And his attacks are so weird to dodge that most of the time you're just gonna die repeatedly. So I've heard a lot of people clamoring for, like, you know, a patch of some sort, like this boss needs to be patched. Alright, there's normally just Cleophas is in here, and we already did all that, so we don't need to worry about it. Okay, let me go up here really quick before we fight Kierce. I guess you don't, like, Kierce is just completely optional, isn't he? Or maybe he's not, but we might need an item. I guess I'll heal or rest. It is gonna mean some stuff's gonna reset, but that's okay. I just need to make our way over to Kierce then, and make this fight happen. Alright, there's stuff here yet. Let me do this without taking a ton of damage, hopefully. Okay, we're good. I'm likely not going to get all of the cherubs. I don't think there's really even a real reason for me to do it anyway, so... Alright, so there's that item over there, but unless we cheese this, and I'm not even sure you can, I don't think you can get it until after. Because I'm pretty sure once the floor breaks, you can't, like, dash across and jump at the last second as it breaks. I think it just, the cinematic kind of takes you down anyway, so... Let me just make sure I'm all set here. I should be... Okay. Alright, well, hopefully this, here's hoping this works. I've never actually died to this boss, although I've come close multiple times. This is the one boss that might actually be, like, the best in the game, in my opinion, in terms of overall design. The one issue I have with it is that he has a thing that can just straight up stun lock you, and that could result in a death. It's that attack right there where he jumps down, teleports and jumps down on top of you, and it gets harder and harder to avoid later. Oops, I did that wrong. It's gonna do a whole bunch now. Oops. Okay, I really meant to jump that. Can be a little difficult at times to tell exactly what this boss is going to do. And again, if he kills me, I'm not going to be as worried about it this time, because at least this one's A, not difficult to get back to, and B, less of a bullshit fight than several of the other ones in the game. Oh man, I just got hit by the after effect. So there, it's going to get harder and harder to avoid now. And on the last time he can do it, he'll, like, start doing it really weird. Where he'll kind of do a little bit of randomness to it. Oops, that was the wrong one. I'm just gonna keep doing the same one. Almost. Alright, easy enough. Now this fight I really like. It's very well designed. He gets harder as the fight goes, sort of. His attacks evolve. And you have to, you know, really put your mind to like how you need to dodge each, or you know, deal with each of his different attacks. And generally speaking, it's just very well put together. The only problem with that fight at all is when he hits you with that like little teleport slam that leaves a big column of fire, which like I said gets worse later on because, you know, he has more columns of fire. The only problem with it, okay, yeah, he's not optional. You do need the Key of the Peaks. I forgot about that. And then also you have to go, or no, never mind. But anyway, when, if he hits you with that, it stun locks you, in the sense that, like, if you get hit by the first one, you get ragdolled up into the air, and then he'll just teleport and slam on top of you again. And so you'll just get chain stunned over and over, and if your health was already low, it's a good chance that you're just going to die to it. I've never died to that boss, and, you know, granted, this is going to only be, like, my third, I guess, time through the game, so it's not like I've fought him a lot or anything, but I feel like the only reason I first tried him is not because I'm especially good or anything, but just because it's a well-designed boss that, aside from that stun lock, is pretty intuitive and just flows really nicely. Now, if more bosses in this game worked that way, this game would be like, I don't know if it'd be a 10 out of 10, but oh my goodness, it would be like extremely beloved, I think, by many people, myself included. Outside of that, I do love this game. I just, you know, like I said, just those couple of issues with it, particularly with the way some of the bosses work. And that's kind of a thing too, is like I don't necessarily like that, like, you know, you've got bosses that end up being kind of a weak point to the game.
Take the loss now.
Okay, so that's our last HP upgrade then. Well, speaking of, we should re-equip some different relics here. We just went with defense and, oh right, HP. Okay, so that's all of our health. We got to do the chalice stuff too. As long as I don't die, that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, you have to do it without dying in order to complete it anyway. To fill the chalice, you have to kill each, one of each of those 3 enemies that they depict. One is the lion head guy that we killed in the Holy Wall of Prohibitions that we were just in. And then we gotta kill like a big stone golem looking thing and then one other enemy. But they're like the other 2 areas where I gotta kill stuff, or one's here in the sleeping canvases, that's the golem, and then the spear throwing enemy type, there's several of them over here in the mountains, and it's just the path you have to go through for all of it is kind of extensive and annoying. Because it's not just if you die, if you use a teleporter, the chalice also empties, so you have to physically travel the whole way. You can't shortcut it. So no deaths, no teleports. Okay, so realistically, we want to go. I could just fall or come down and fall all the way down here and just go ahead and do the mountains first, I guess. But usually I come down I go from here, go all the way down through all of this stuff, come through, kill the stone golem, go back up, go around everything. It's a very long path, but it's safer. Too many stupid spike traps to accidentally die to otherwise, so I think that's what we'll do. I do wish that they didn't necessarily put the last mea culpa behind this quest, but it's not like you can't finish the game with less. And speaking of challenges, I'm sure that that's another thing somebody would probably want to do at some point, is just doing a no upgrades run or something, which would be, its own pain in the ass, I'm sure. Okay, so just double checking and we're good. Alright, so in order to get to where we need to go, did I miss some stuff here? I might have. No, wait, that was the map bug again. I remember these areas I went into, the map just didn't load for some reason. Okay, so if we make our way across and come down here and then just go straight down, that'll be easier than trying to, because this frickin' vertical drop is annoying. There's just a million spike traps to fall into. And then, as you may understand, if I die at any point, I have to restart the quest. It doesn't have to be a specific order or anything, you just have to kill all 3 and get back to the chalice room and turn it in without dying or teleporting. That's it. Pretty much no matter where you go, there's spikes. There's just potentially less of them in certain areas, so. And the only reason why spikes are so frightening is just because they're instant death. Alright, let's make sure we equip the right item so we don't die just starting our trip here. Alright, I'm not going to use the shrines though, because again, I could potentially use the other one just to quick travel back anyway. Oh, that's not where I expected to fall from. Okay. Well, if I use a shrine at any point, it'll just be to heal. The library. How I don't really miss ye. to be fair, the library is not really that bad. It's just, it's mostly the ghosts that I find annoying. Okay. Write this down. Go to the sleeping canvases, and we have to get a golem, and the worst part of sleeping canvases is this little section. It's like this room right here, but I just avoid that room, because this room is nothing but pendulums and spikes. And the pendulums are really wonky, so it's just very easy to get knocked into the spikes. So, and this is why I do like this very roundabout way. The pendulums themselves are not necessarily as bad because they're not guaranteed death. It's just if you get knocked into something that it's a problem. Alright, I don't think there's a golem in this room, I just want to check though. Okay, yeah, it's... They also are only there if you come from the left. Because there's like, normally there's a golem in this room standing right here, but only if you come from the left side. So I still have to make it past some of these fucking spikes, which I really hate. Especially after having not played the game for several days. Oops, yep, okay. Alright, now if we go and we rest... Okay, so we do need to rest, actually. I mean, it might work if we just leave and come back, but... I'm just gonna rest to make sure. Can you do your thing? Okay, I don't know where the parry was there, but... Alright. Don't die to spikes. Thank you. Alright, now in theory... Actually, I'm gonna leave the room really fast, too. Come back. Okay. This is actually far more nerve-wracking than it ever would be, just because I haven't played in a few days, and I'm definitely not as in tune with the controls, so I feel like I'm gonna mess it up. Again, not the end of the world if we do, we just have to restart the quest. We'll get it eventually if I screw that up. Okay, that's 2. It would be quicker to come this way, sort of, but I really just want to avoid that absolute death trap room. It is by far the most toxic room in the game. At least in terms of... Oof, man, I was really sure that was going to hit me there. Okay. There is, of course, another golem, but that's okay. It's just in our way at this point. Oop, you got a double hit. Nice. Alright, I forgot about this guy. Alright, no problem. This is really the hardest part. Not that the trip doesn't still have potential areas where we could definitely die. At this point, since we've already rested, we might as well do it again here. And then we're just gonna work our way back up. And then over, yeah. Honestly, I consider just, like, skipping this quest and just finishing this with 6 upgrades for the Mea Culpa, but I kind of just, aside from, you know, not finishing this up in, like, 1 hour or some shit, or just immediately rushing to the end, I just kind of figured I would do some, you know, do everything and not make it as difficult as possible for myself. Okay, I don't know that I'll ever use that, really, or get much use out of the consecration ability, but it's, might as well pick it up. I gotta really remember where the last blue candle is, and maybe go find that before we finish, because I usually equip it, that and the rosary knots. I don't need them necessarily. I would at least like to get one more, because if I just miss out on the blue candle, like, that's fine. I can live without that. We don't need to use fervor that much, especially since I'm not going to be using the invulnerability, which is Something I used some on the first playthrough, but after that I didn't. Like on my no Biles flask off, or Jesus, my no Bile Flasks run that I did off stream, I didn't really go through very much fervor at all, because I didn't use the invulnerability much for anything. Oops, I somehow caught him to the ladder there. Right, patio, less dangerous, but still offers some problems. Still got some spikes to jump over in a few spots. Also these assholes. They're just really annoying more than anything else. Man, I don't know why, but that jump looked like I wasn't going to make it for a second there. Like these guys, I hate when they get in a really shitty spot. Just because these guys can really fuck up your day without even trying. That one in particular, because if he hits you right as you're landing, because the landing causes you to kind of stop your movement for a second right on that collapsible platform. So if that happens, you're potentially fucked, because you won't be able to move in time before it collapses and you just fall onto the spikes. You could use, if you have it, there is a rosary bead item that removes that little landing effect, where when you take a long fall it makes you pause. I think that's what it does, if I understand it correctly. So if you're worried about jumps like that getting, like, kind of wombo comboed to death through some thing like that occurring, you know, you could use that, I guess, in that situation. But yeah, that guy ruined he didn't ruin the quest for me, I think, but he did kill me at least once or twice from just trying to jump right there and him just like landing on me right as I was trying to recover, thus making me stay there for too long and just having the floor collapse and me just landing immediately onto the spikes and dying. Squish. Alright, we're closing out on the end here. This area is pretty easy. Just gotta make it to the end, come down, go into Endless Dusk for Mountains of Endless Dusk for a second, and then come back. Work our way back down. And we'll be finally finished with this, our little chalice quest here. Still technically some spikes in between us and that area, but less problematic spikes. Spikes with some assistance. Alright, you can't dash through these guys. The shield literally prevents you. Really, the only reason why I stop to fight these ones sometimes is just because you can't dash through them. You can jump over them pretty easily, but sometimes I'm just not thinking about jumping, I'm thinking about dashing, and then I screw that up. Alright, so, spikes here, but with the tree there, that's not quite as bad. That jump still looked close, though. Alright, we should more or less be out of the danger zone here. Okay, let me just talk to you one more time again. I knew it, I fucking knew it. I don't know what it is specifically. I gotta find out the trigger. You have to complete the healer quest, but I completed that, like, back on Thursday. So there's just something where it's like, do a specific amount of progression and then come back and talk to him and he'll give you the rosary knot. I don't know why it's like that. Because as far as I knew, he gave that to you just for completing the quest, and that is the trigger for it generally, but then you just have to wait for a certain point or something. It's very confusing. So I don't know, I could probably look it up or something to find like the very specific details on it, but whoops. Alright, so here, this is the last enemy we need to kill, just that guy right beneath us. There's several of them here to kill, but we can just kill that one. And then we can leave. Whoop. Alright, now we just need to, from the cistern, go this way and then down. Actually, no. I guess we could technically just come out here and fall down. That should work as long as we have the right thing equipped. Let's just make sure we do. Yeah, we do. Okay. Last thing I want to do is fall to my death after doing the whole quest. Okay. So yeah, we can just come down here now. And there we are. And there it is. That's the Chalice quest completed. So again, not too hard to figure out. You just got to kill these 3 enemies that are presented to you, which are in those 3 areas. And then make your way, you know, the whole way whilst killing them, whatever. You only need 1 of each. Make your whole way back to here without dying or teleporting, you know, so using one of the portals, I mean. And your reward is the last Mea Culpa shrine, which is pretty necessary, I would say, or mostly necessary. Bleeding Miracle is pretty good, actually. I'm missing a little bit of a Tears of Atonement to get it right now, though, so we'll hold off. Alright, well, with that done, what do you think about this? We should go turn in that knot. And then I don't remember where the last one is. Hey, Charlie. How's it going? It's going pretty good. Just wrapping up this, No. Oh, we did miss an item here. Not that we needed it. Just wrapping up this no Bile Flask run and doing stuff. Probably do a little bit more Resident Evil afterwards. I'm still debating whether or not to do a challenge today. I think I kind of want that to be its own thing, though, and not today, so I'll probably just do, like, some, I don't know, fucking around in Resident Evil 3. I heard you did the rest of the hospital section. How did you enjoy it? Specifically mentioning the kind of survival gauntlet at the end. It's honestly the one thing I didn't enjoy about the game. I can understand that. It's a little lengthy for one thing. It's a lot of just standing there shooting zombies until it ends. The rest of it's fantastic, but that section wasn't my favorite. Yeah, I get it. I know several people who have said similar things. It's interesting because it's kind of like a moment that's like, I guess there's moments like that in Resident Evil 5, like towards the beginning of Resident Evil 5 there's even a bit like that, but then also Resident Evil 4 had a very similar scenario where you're stuck in a small cabin trying to defend it from a horde of Ganados, and but in that one you have a partner helping you out, so it's like, it's still hard because you don't have a fucking assault rifle and grenades and shit. I mean, actually there are some grenades, but your weaponry is not as fantastic. And the guy helping you is just AI, but it's still like, it was interesting to see it in the game, but after having, you know, I've done several playthroughs of RE3 over the weekend, and I do feel like that hospital section, like, it's a little slow. It's not necessarily that hard, especially with the shop items, but although I probably shouldn't say much about the shop items because I know you haven't completed the game yet, but they're basically just like New Game Plus stuff, if you want to look at it, you know, any other way. Unlockables. Cabin area was great in RE4, then they shoehorned a similar scenario to every other RE since RE6 has multiple instances of it. Well, so here's the thing. Resident Evil 6 is not a great Resident Evil game, period, but from what I gather, it's probably not a bad co-op game. If you're playing it by yourself, it's pretty meh. and pretty bad even. If you're playing it with a friend, it's not too shabby, I think. Alright, I remember where I wanted to go now. And RE5 is kind of the same way, except that, like, at least the scenario in RE5 is at least somewhat enjoyable. For a single player campaign. It's not, like, as good as some other stuff that they've made, but it's at least less shitty. RE6 was just all over the place, and I still found it enjoyable to play by myself, but I didn't have anyone to play co-op with at the time, so I didn't really get, like, a great experience from it. It was okay. How much extra fervor does this give me? One bar worth at the moment. That's not terrible. I don't know, maybe it's 2 bars or roughly 2 bars if I have the last blue candle. I gotta figure out where that is again. It's either that or we could go with extra defense, which honestly, give me the extra defense. It's not a lot, but I needs my defense with my no healing. Okay, 1 second. I'm pretty sure it's just a cherub that's up over here, but I just want to make sure that there's not a rosary knot, because I'm trying to think of where the last one is. Oh, right, blue candle. It's right here. Okay. Well, that solves that particular question. I don't have to go looking for it, but like literally right before I walked up to it, I was just like, wait a minute, isn't the blue candle here? But anyway, I'm glad that you're liking the game otherwise, Charlie. I've been playing it a bunch over the weekend because I'm enjoying the game immensely. I don't know why I fell through the floor there. For sure, it's been very fun. Yeah, I've been liking it a lot. I know that it's probably been more of a disappointment for people who are... Oh, did I do this already? I guess I did. No, I did not. Okay. But it is just the cherub, so who cares? I know it's probably been like a little bit more of a disappointment for some people who played the original just because of like the cut content. They didn't really do anything with the clock tower, and I understand that was something a lot of people were probably looking forward to that moment. Because they mention it even in RE3. Like, I hope that they still do some DLC at least, and I hope that a lot of the DLC is better than what we got in RE2. Like, I don't think that the Ghost Survivor stuff is terrible or anything, but I don't think it's, like, great. Like, the DLC that they did for RE2 is pretty short and not, like, much of anything. And so what they've put a lot of their effort into recently has been the Resident Evil, like, multiplayer stuff, the Resistance game. And from what I've seen of that, like, it might be fun to play, you know, with, like, a group of people, but, it didn't really look that great, in my opinion. It looks okay. I feel like I should really look up the last rosary now, because I don't remember... I know I've gotten it before, I just don't remember where the fuck you get it from. It could be after you kill Christiana, or whatever her name is, but... you know what, just give me like 1 second to look. If you want to check it out, I'd be down. I mean, we could definitely do that. I don't know if it's free or if it costs money. I've only like watched some video on it before, and it looks okay. It's not like amazing or anything like that. But what I understand about it is that like you generally want to play it with like a group of people, or maybe it'll pair you with some randos otherwise. But it's like a it's kind of like a Dead by Daylight scenario, I think, where one of your people, whoever is in like the group, ends up as the mastermind, the villain of the thing, and so it's you know, in a team of people. Where is this thing? Completion, achievements, fine, we'll look there. Where is it? Rosary beads, yeah, that'll work. Nuts. It's included, okay. I haven't looked into it at all, but yeah, my understanding of having seen the Resistance stuff previously, because some people were playing it before RE3 even came out. Like I said, it's like you and like, I don't know, maybe 3 other people or something, so it might be like 5 total. So you and 4 other people, I should say, but then, like I said, one of your group, I guess, becomes the mastermind. I don't know if it's random or how it works. And so the mastermind is like either they win or you as a group win, you know, you the heroes. So then the mastermind like puts various obstacles in your way, and so they have like their particular goal through it. And I don't know what all the levels like. I don't know what they've added since RE3 came out. It looked interesting, but not like the most stellar gameplay or anything. But I'd be willing to check it out. Honestly, the next time you have free time and you wanna chat or whatever, we can look into it together and see if it's worth playing if you like. We can try for sure. All right, cool. That sounds good. Obviously, I know that April's going to be a busy month for you, so obviously just let me know whenever you've got some free time and we can chat it up a little bit. All right, sorry, I'm just looking at the knots page really quick. Holy line before the under the oh, I know where it is. Okay, I was thinking it was just a bone thing there. That's my bad. It's over here. I was looking at this because I was like, I haven't explored there, but I'm pretty sure that's just a bone. But there is a bone down there. I already got that bone. Bone. I've been watching more Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Every once in a while with I got my mom into watching it, so we when we have the chance to hang out, we watch a little bit of it, among other things, but it's been pretty good. I think I don't know how many. Do you know if is it like roughly the same amount of episodes per season, Charlie? I know you've watched it a few times. Oh, there's an item up there I neglected to get. I think that's just another bone though anyway. Painted wood bead. Only 20 minutes each. So how many episodes are there per season then? Because like I think the last one we watched was like 13 or 14 or something like that. Maybe 15. So we're still in the first season, but I would guess maybe 20-ish episodes at most. A lot of network television programs that have like 20-minute long episodes usually do something around there. Need to equip the other relic. Here it is. Here's our last rosary knot. That'll help things. Okay, well, that more or less puts us at the end of the game. Around 20. Okay, cool. It's just that I've seen clips from the later seasons, and so like I want to get into, especially with the cold opens and stuff, but I definitely want to get into them. I don't want to rush the experience of the show because it's been really good so far, but okay, so yeah, if I'm not mistaken, I think we're pretty much ready to challenge the last bosses here. Let me just go turn in this rosary knot, and then we can equip some stuff. Oof, my feet. But yeah, it's honestly, it's a show that I wish I had given a chance early on because I never really got into it previously. Gonna grab some dessert. Actually, there's still some cake in the kitchen. What kind of cake? Is it nut cake again? Or is it something else? Plum cake, maybe? Either way, enjoy your cake. Red currant cake. Ooh, nice. Nut cake, yes. Okay, yeah, we're good. Be right back. Alright. Sounds good. Bring some cake for everybody else, please. We would all like some. Or at least I would. I don't know if other people like red currant cake or not. I'll throw it over. Yeah, all the way from Germany. Just toss that shit like a football, it'll go through various biomes before getting here, but you know, we'll make it work somehow. Alright, I'm debating whether or not to put on the contact damage thing, but honestly, this didn't work that well for the end of the game. Like, just because there's certain things still, like, even though it looks like contact damage, seem to just be, like, I guess part of, like, an attack animation. Even though it looks like nothing's happening, I could still just, like, bump into an enemy and take damage, so I feel like it's either that or this Rosary Bead just doesn't work that well. Or more, you know, otherwise possibly they might just be that it only sometimes protects you from contact damage, and it just isn't obvious that that's the way it works based on its wording. To be fair, I'm not sure that the extra fervor is worth it though, looking at this. It's one extra. It's still really only one extra thing, because even though it's more than one, it's not enough for me to do more than one Debla of the Lights, or whatever it's called. Yeah. I don't know what's better, Toronto to my sister or Debla of the Lights. I always use Debla because it looks cooler, but I don't know. This is powerful. The Tiento to your Thorned Hairs is invulnerability for a limited amount of time, which with the... There's also... Which one is it? Wait, is it not a sword heart? Either that or I don't have it, maybe. I feel like there's a sword heart that makes your prayers last longer. It might just be a relic, though. Hey, Ari, how's it going? I'm doing pretty well. I hope you are, too. Oh, wait, let me go back here. We need to teleport. Before we take on the last bosses here, I am going to take like a really quick bathroom break, but I won't be long. I just need to... I've had a lot of coffee this morning, so you know how it is. Yep, just got some dinner. Nice, what'd you have for dinner? Hey Daedra, how's it going? Welcome in. How are you? Oh, and you know what? We should probably get... I don't know that I need it really for the fight, but I should really probably get the last upgrade. Alright, let's kill a few things for a few minutes. Actually, I guess we can just do it from where we're at here. I don't really like farming, but I'm a little shy of what we need for it. We'll rest here really fast. Salmon bone and one with meat, sorta. It's a German thing. Interesting. Let me through. Okay, well that was just rude. That this guy just auto parries you. Oh, and also sometimes my parries just don't work. Like right there, I hit it and my dude just did nothing. Okay, come on, man. Please do. Why does that keep happening? My R1, I think my R1 is starting to get worn out, because okay, what the fuck? Why is this not working? I know the timing, it's just half the time it's not coming out at all. And the rest of the time it's happening, but like he's just... like passing through it. Okay. It's fine. It's all good. A little annoying, but it's fine. Oh no. Let's not fall. Alright, you know what? You're in a very inopportune area, you know, just not a good area for fighting, so let's go this way, I guess. Fight another one of those lightning bee holes. Alright, oh yeah, I don't like this room. I forgot. You know what? I'm just gonna reset because this room sucks. You only have to fight like a couple more enemies to get to 20k anyways, so not a big deal. Alright, don't push me out of the room. Okay, really? Hitbox. I don't like that sometimes when you do that parry successfully, he just instantly starts up another attack. And you just get hit by the second one instead. Alright, come on, parry. Please stop ignoring the frame. Thank you. Alright, we'll just work our way to the right for the mea culpa then. And get our last upgrade. Alright. Well, then we are ready to take on the last boss fight. Well, last two boss fights. But, like I said, I just need a very quick bathroom break, so let me get back to... Well, I guess I don't really need to... Oh, no, actually, we do need to go to the shrine. There's not another one before it. Why did I walk into that? So, rest at the shrine over here. And then we'll go. Okay. Quick bathroom break, guys. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. I'll turn my microphone down ever so slightly. I feel like the game volume still seems like mildly low. can do that. Alright. Okay. Let's go probably get our ass kicked. Hopefully I'll do okay, but we'll see. Honestly, on my off stream, no Bile Flasks run. This fight didn't go so bad, but
Penitent one in sleeplessness.
I haven't played for 3
Carrying
days,
the
so
have been in
we'll
try,
see.
and thus shall
What's happening? Right there, that freaking contact damage is annoying. Parry immediately. No, damn it. Mistimed that horribly. Fuck. No, shit, I did the wrong button. Damn it. I'm probably gonna lose this one because I fucked up too many things. That's okay. I did better than I was expecting to, if I'm honest. Damn it, I really wish that had been facing the right way. We're gonna go into this. And then just a little bit sooner. Oh fuck, don't get stuck on the wall, I hate that shit. I can't see what she's doing, she's stuck. I hate that this is a thing that can happen. Fuck. No, goddamn, we were one hit away. If it weren't for that bug, I think we would have had it. Okay, I'm literally hitting any button. Are we gonna do this again? Fuck. This is another glitch. I literally have to unplug my controller to make this work. There we go. Man, that sucks. Almost had it. So, it's not really that bad of a fight, honestly. It was a fucking pain and a half the first time I did it, but I got used to it afterwards. To be fair, that was on a day that I was, like, ridiculously stressed out, and, it was not a good day, so I probably should just not have streamed, in hindsight. Alright, I'm gonna use that as a heal, because that's legal, this challenge. I hate doing that. Finally we got one that works. Come on. I just wish that it would let you parry faster out of one of those charge attacks, because it just opens you up for an attack so much of the time. Like right there. And I just got rumbled by it. Okay, please let me actually up, thank you. Sometimes the charge just doesn't come out, so if it looks like I'm just swinging in the air for no reason, it's because I'm trying to do a charge attack. Contact damage, dude. Okay, that didn't look like it was going to hit, but that's fine, I guess. God damn, I really just wish she didn't hit so fucking hard sometimes. Oof, I thought she was going for the air one. Damn it, don't fucking bug off screen again. Fuck the contact damage walking. I hate just walking into her as she teleports back onto the screen. I really wish they hadn't left that in this fight. There was an opportunity for a charge attack, it just didn't come out again. Fuck you. Okay. Catching up on chat. I guess you guys are just saying hey. I think I've heard, I don't know if this is true, I heard someone say that if you flawless her, you actually kill her here, but I'm guessing that's probably not actually a thing. Because, like, there's a cutscene if you do the true ending, which, by the way, we're not going to get today, so you're just going to get to see the shitty ending. Because I didn't do the Confessor dungeons. GG, thank you. It's not that bad of a fight, she just hits really hard, and she does, unfortunately, have a few buggy things that cause the fight to really get a little effed up. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and get some fervor up here for this fight. Actually listen to this lady's dialogue for once.
That which proclaimed itself the true and holy truth has long been hiding there. Behind those doors, the affliction itself laments in its own confusion and deformity. The journey has been long, but your task is about to be completed. Although I have been barred from entering such a slanderous abode, these words are free to accompany you.
So she gives you this prayer if you get her to the end of the game. Like, it doesn't matter if you accept her help a couple times, but I think she can only help you in, I'm guessing, 3 boss fights. Like, each time she helps you, she ages immensely, and I think after the 3rd one, she probably just dies, I would guess. I mean, I'm not sure if she does. I've only ever used her help 1 time, so... And since then, I haven't really used her help again. And it's actually not a bad prayer, I guess. Destroys some projectiles. Shield can damage enemies, but I don't really use it.
In my dream,
Alright, here we go.
I heard your footsteps coming closer.
I am gonna still skip your dialogue because you're a little annoying to listen to, frankly.
Now may your
Blah 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 blah. Did that wrong. Yeah, good first phase.
You have shattered the mirror in which you saw me. Now you see me awoke.
I know Red was saying he struggled with the last boss. I'm assuming probably not the first phase so much. So the first phase isn't that bad as long as you get your charges, your dash attacks in there. Especially if he, like, the only attack that's all that hard to dodge is the magic missile one, which if you get on the other side of him is not bad at all. And this guy can be a little annoying, but... Oh shit, I forgot. Hang on. This is another thing that can help. This is magic. This is also magic, yes. Okay, and then you could do lightning, I guess. It's easy enough to get hit by lightning, but I don't know that there's anything that's physical that actually hits you in this, so I don't know if enhancing your defense is actually good or not. I'll just leave this on for now. Should be okay. Oops, I really should not have walked into that. So I was not paying attention to the lightning was there just now. That's bad timing. No, come on, get up there. I'm not doing this very well, so we may get a wipe here. Still hit me now. Alright, oh, right. Protect yourself from fire, potentially? I completely forgot. This is the one attack that, like, super sucks. Alright, yeah, we're probably gonna have to do this one again, because I don't think I did this fight very well. No, okay. Okay. Ooh, that was a little quick to the side there. We're gonna, yep, okay. I fucked that up. Fucked up the dodge timing. That's okay. Hopefully we'll get it on the second one. So yeah, what I do want actually is fire protection, because that one hits really hard, and it's the only other one that I have trouble dodging. I still don't know if defense actually translates to all defense or what, but I'm just gonna go with some fire protection, and that should probably do it. Actually, I might even want multiple fires, because like the magic one, yeah, let's go with this. The magic one is not that hard to avoid. Very close. Yeah, it was fine. Like, I've died to him before, but I actually don't feel like the end boss is actually that hard. He can be tricky, but like I said, part of it is like if you bring the right equipment, he's not that bad. Okay, contact damage, if you say so. Okay, this on the other hand is a shitty first phase because he got... Wow, alright. Now I actually just want to like restart because like that was actually terrible. I don't know if I've ever had such a shitty like start to this first one here. Okay, can we please just stop with the contact damage for a second? I've flawlessed his first phase several times.
You now
Having that happen like that is a little dumb. He also did 2 at the same time, which was a little weird. I don't know what happened there. I don't know if I've seen him do fireballs and magic missiles or whatever at the exact same time. That was kind of weird. I don't know that he glitched, I just don't know that I've seen him do 2 at once. Anyway, the other thing you gotta remember is that there's not really a rush to finishing this fight. You don't have to go hyper fast. Just make sure you kill the knife thingy when it comes out. That's not what I said. Okay. Womboed? No, alright. We just took a bunch of avoidable damage there for no reason. Come on, get off the platform, Jesus. Sometimes these things become like really difficult to dodge, actually. Ah, jeez, poster timing would be terrible. I don't know where you want me to jump with that one. Oh, no, I meant to fall. Come on. Okay, he's being far shittier than usual. Come on, stupid. Okay, that was... what? The platforms are actually making this harder right now. They keep spawning right where I'm trying to, like, fall down. Fucked it up. No, your timing sucks. What? Are you kidding me? That... I should have been safe there. What the fuck? Did he switch the trajectory of those? Or am I just crazy? Maybe it normally hits there. Like, if you're just off to the side a little bit, like, you definitely don't want to be in the center because you can get hit by 2, but if you're off in the... like, just to the sides, it shouldn't hit you there. So I was a little surprised that I got hit.
now
And again, he was just a couple of hits away from being dead. Oh, come on, fucking charge attack. Just work, please. Not charge, the dash attack. It just doesn't come out sometimes. Yeah, so if you can get it on the other side of this, it's not so bad. Yeah, I mean, like 1 or 2 more hits he would have died. It was just, unfortunate luck. I should probably have gotten my fervor up, honestly, because I could have killed him. I could have finished him with a Debla or 2. It's fine. I'm mostly just annoyed because I was, like, expecting to be safe there for some reason. If the stupid dagger hadn't spawned right then, he would have been dead. The dagger is like the most annoying part of this fight, really. As bad as like the fire attack can be. This is not where I wanted to be. Okay, just barely made it out of there. Please. He rarely ever puts platforms up high enough for you to like get up and just wail on him. Every once in a while he will. Like there's two right by his face right now, but they're just not easy to get to. Okay, that didn't seem like I was gonna get hit there, but I guess I did. It's fine. See, much going a lot better this time, although partly it's because he hasn't done the stupid fire attack and I haven't had to dodge quite so much. There it is. I just did the short one though, so that's fine. Oh, never mind. We're back to the long one. Please stop spamming fire. Alright, so very doable, just, you know, sometimes just need the right RNG really, but and also not to take like a really big dumb hit at the beginning. Anyway, that's the no Bile Flasks run completed. Sorry that it's broken up into two separate streams, separated by several days, but I just couldn't finish it all on Thursday because I had stuff I had to do in the evening. But maybe I'll highlight them so that they can be strung together. Unfortunately, we get the shit ending here, so because I didn't do the Confessor dungeons. So if you watched the good ending on my first run, you'll get to see the shitty ending now.
From his afflicted torment, and the
Whoops, I didn't mean to skip that.
grievous miracle, the final relic,
GG, thank you.
the grail of blood and gold that emanated from the forehead of the Father.
Yeah, like I said, I did this off stream. It's not actually the first time I've completed this challenge, and it was on my off stream when it was easier. I had less stuff to focus on for one thing, but I think I did the last boss in one try, and Christiana, I think I did both in one try, which was surprising to me because she always gives me a lot of trouble. I keep calling her Christiana too. I don't even know if that's actually her name. I just know it's something like close to that.
Now, your final communion with the miracle awaits. Only you would be able to know how much of it has seeped into your guilty heart.
Let's see how guilty we are, bro. Pretty guilt-ridden. Can't seem to hop uphill very good. Let me up. Just give me the bunny hops. Give me the bunny hops. Get it up there. We almost made it to the top. You can't, but it's just funny because like if you just run normally, you won't even make it anywhere near that fast or that far.
A mountain of ashes that swallowed up sins and sinners alike has had no mercy on you either. At the mercy of the miracle you were, and at the mercy of the miracle you remain. You are no longer anything but one more anonymous visage, without a voice, without countenance. Your penitence is over.
So, you know, that's basically the shitty ending. Exactly. I was just like, I didn't want to say anything about it when people asked, but I was just like, you do all of that just to basically, like, have nothing achieved at the end, aside from, like, oh, I've achieved my penitence, I suppose. Whatever I don't know what my quest was really entirely about, other than it seemed maybe like setting out to, you know, put an end to the grievous miracle, or, you know, whatever, and fixing the situation. But, and then, yeah, there's just this scene of the sword sitting there in the ash, so maybe someone someday will pick it up again, or a new one, but there was that symbol again. I still don't know what the fuck that remnant is, but well, that's gonna do it, I guess, for Blasphemous for right now. We've unlocked, I think, pretty much everything there is to unlock at this point. I might try another challenge at some point. Maybe, man, a no-death run sounds fucking toxic as hell in this game, if I'm being honest, but, maybe I'll try that eventually. We'll see. It's not gonna be anytime soon if I do. That would take a lot of practice, I think. But yeah, I mean, the no Bile Flasks seem doable. Really, the only hard and fast rule was just not having healing flasks. I did say that the guilt fragment is allowable because generally you want to be able to pick it up for your fervor, but, you know, it does technically heal you, so I was just kind of weighing whether or not that should be legal, and I just figure, I don't know, as long as the flasks aren't a thing, it's fine. You know, and there is an achievement actually in the game, I should say, you know, when Wintermute asked a while back for whether or not these things were, like, in-game or just community-driven or stuff I made up, and it's all a little bit of the same things, but in this case, there's not an achievement for doing the whole game without healing once or anything like that, but there is an achievement for doing all the boss fights without using any healing flasks, which I've already gotten because I did this off-stream. So, but yeah, so that's gonna do it for now.